In today's video, I'll be going over some tires that we offer. The main ones that we're offering are the BF Goodrich brand and a General tire brand. But let's get right into it. And I'll first start this video off with, we've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, and we've gone through a lot of different tires. At the very beginning, I used an Ironman brand. It's probably the least expensive 10-ply tire that you can find. I used another, Corsa. It was another, cheaper 10-ply tire. We've always used 10-ply, and that's very important, and I'll go into that a little bit. But so we've used a lot of different brands, from the cheaper brands without a warranty, and then we started moving, and we used a lot of Falcon Wild Peak for a while, and then we used General Grabber, the General tire Grabber model ATX, and we've also used BFG a lot, their KO2, and all of these that I'll be talking about are an all-terrain tire. So it's not a mud terrain. We've always stuck with the all-terrain for different reasons. Alright, so I'll go over what a 10-ply tire is now. So back when there was bias ply tires, I'm trying to think what year they stopped doing that. I mean, they still make bias ply tires for like tractors and farming equipment and other off-road vehicles. So they're still made, but I think it was Michelin. They invented the radial tire, which is a modern tire that we use today. It's better on the highway, more fuel efficient and things like that, and they last a lot longer. And so that's a radial tire. Okay, that was ridiculous. Sorry. That train, as many of you know, is the bane of my existence. It interrupts my YouTube videos, but that's all right. So I was talking about plies. So Michelin came out with a radial, and bias ply tire, they were made with cotton, and so it was obviously rubber, but the belts were made of cotton, and so that's how they came up with the ply rating, just like toilet paper. There's different plies in toilet paper, and so a good analogy would be, a toilet paper with more plies is obviously more superior, but tires are the same way. And so back in the day, a 10-ply tire actually had 10 plies, so it had more plies, and so it was a stronger tire. It was for more things. Nowadays, the compounds, depending on the manufacturer and a lot of things like that, they won't have 10 plies. They'll have an equivalent of the 10 plies, and that just depends on what material they're using and things like that. When I say 10 ply, it's more of a load rating, and so they have a load rating from, I believe, A to E, D, I think F, probably more, but a 10-ply tire is a load rating E. And so on the side of the tire, you'll see, say like LT, and then a number, and then it'll also have a load rating on there, and that's, A through E for most tires. So E is 10-ply, and most tires that you'll see on like passenger cars, they won't even necessarily have that load rating on there. It's really when you start getting up to like load rating C and up. So C, D, and E. So a C is a 6-ply, D is an 8-ply, E is a 10-ply. And those are just the ratings. And then to make it even more confusing, not all 10-ply tires, not all load rating E tires are created the same. Some of them have a better load capacity, different things like that. And then on top of that, depending on the manufacturer, you'll have different warranties, different types of warranties, the length of the warranty, a lot of things like that. And so there's a lot to look at in tires, and it can be pretty overwhelming. But that's why we're here. I've done this, and I've been able to test a lot of tires over the years, and feel like we've come to a really good selection that we offer to our clients. So some of you guys might be asking, why do we only offer a 10-ply tire? So the Suburban, let's start there. You start with what vehicle you're using. We're using a full-size vehicle. Full-size meaning that it's, people characterize that different ways, but a full-size vehicle, in my mind, will usually have, it's a body on frame. So there's an actual frame to the vehicle, then it'll have a body on top, and some other characteristics on top of that will be the size of the vehicle, obviously with the full size. And so the Suburban is a half-ton, it's rated, it's a half-ton to a 3/4-ton vehicle, and because of that, it's a very heavy vehicle. And so there's a lot of body on frame cars out there, like 4Runners, Tacomas, Jeeps, all that stuff, but they're smaller, and so I wouldn't consider them a full size. But that's besides the point. A 10-ply tire is meant for a bigger car like this. And interestingly enough, from the manufacturer, these Suburbans had passenger rated tires. So essentially they had a 4-ply tire from the factory. And I've always kind of wondered why. I haven't looked into it, but to me that's just, you can get by and it's fine, but having that 10-ply, that low rating E, is just a great thing to have. Peace of mind. So some benefits why we choose the low rating E. Some of them are pretty simple. They last longer. They have more of a bigger warranty for the most part. You'll see a lot of passenger tires out there have big warranties and they last a long time, and it's because they're on a small vehicle. They're on like a little Honda Civic, right? So they're going to last, I've seen ratings as up to 80,000 mile warranty on a lot of these tires. A typical 10-ply that we use will have like a 40 to 60,000 mile warranty, and so that's what I would look for if you're looking to buy tires. Buy ones with a warranty. Not necessarily like the warranty is like, they're going to fulfill it, and depending on the manufacturer. But what I found out, the tires without a warranty, they don't last very long, and they perform poorly compared to these tires that we are using now. And so we talked about longevity of the tire. It's safer because we're adding, our clients are loading up these Suburbans, so there's more weight, and so they have more load capacity. Some of our clients like to tow, so they also be doing that. Then the off-road part of it. So with the stronger tire, you'll have stronger sidewalls. And so depending on the manufacturer, they'll advertise in their own way. For example, BFG advertises a 3-ply sidewall. And so does it really have those actual 3 plies, or is it a 3-ply equivalent? I'm not sure, but they advertise that. And almost every mud terrain tire will advertise a 3-ply sidewall too. So that heavier sidewall of the tire, less chance of punctures, and you can air down without having problems, and so it's better as far as the sidewall goes. Most of the 10-ply manufacturers, the all-terrains, they don't advertise that 3-ply sidewall. The only ones I know of is BFG and Cooper STT Max. So the BFG all-terrain and the Cooper ST Max have advertised the 3-ply sidewall. For example, the General Grabber that we offer, that one, it has the normal 2-ply equivalent. Still a great tire, it just isn't advertising that 3-ply. So anyway, and so again, there's a lot of different things within the 10-ply, but when we're choosing our tires, we don't use any mud terrain. I don't like mud terrains personally. They're super loud, and fuel economy is reduced. Not like that's like a huge deal with the Suburbans, but it does, you know, a couple miles per gallon is a lot when you're looking at a Suburban and over the period of the car. And so we're looking more like road comfort with good off-road capability, and that's where the all-terrain comes in. And so that's what we offer. So every tire that I talk about and that I put on our vehicles is very quiet on the highway, and it performs well in all circumstances: snow, mud, and rock crawling. And so that's kind of how I look at the tire that we put on these vehicles. And I also say, just because I'm using, you know, the BFG or the General doesn't mean that they're the best tire. There's a lot of good tires out there that I've used over the years. There's also a lot of, you know, poor quality tires that I've used. But the main factors are you get a 10-ply, and then what, you know, road comfort that you're comfortable with. We go with the all-terrain. So a 10-ply all-terrain tire, you know, that has a warranty, I would say, they're all going to be pretty good. And there it just comes down to experience and like what brand you like, how they look. Believe it or not, tires do have a look, you know, so different manufacturers are putting, you know, beefier sidewalls so they look cooler, and different tread patterns. And so there is a look to the all-terrain, or to a tire in general, that people like too. And part of our decision right now, just because we're a business, is what tire can I get in here that, first off, what tire can I actually get? So like what is available because of COVID and everything. So the BFG, we just have kind of set on that. So we have a large inventory going, you know, in stock. And then if I can't get a BFG, then I'll go to like a General or a Falcon or a Cooper AT. What are those? I forgot. There's a Cooper that we like. And so I'll go with BFG first, and if I can't get those in, I'll go to another couple of brands. So here's our two tires that we'll be going over today. We got the BFG all-terrain TA and the General Grabber ATX here. So start the General. So there's your tread pattern here, and then your sidewall. And if you look on here, right there is 285, 75, 16. So this is our 16-inch one that we do a lot. And then right there, that's a snowflake rating. So that's just something that it's rated for snow. Not to say that ones without the snowflake rating aren't good, but these have just gone through a different rating system that's set up, and so they've been qualified for that. And then the LT, that just stands for light truck. That's what the LT is. And then if you look on here, load range E is right there. So that's that 10-ply we were talking about. And if you notice, the tread on these two tires, the General and the BFG, are actually a pretty similar tread pattern, I would say, and they perform very similarly. And then here's the BFG, and again, it's a 10-ply all-terrain. This says the snow rating, just like the General Grabber, load range E. And this right here, it says M&S. Where's it at? Mud and snow, so M&S with the snowflake right there. So a lot of time people will say, is it snowflake rated? And these are. And so those are 2 tires. The BFG, I think this one's a 16 inch, or is it a 17? Let's see here. That one's also a 16. And so in my videos I'll say, oh yeah, we put 33 inch tires on them. This is equivalent to a 33 inch, pretty much. So for example, the General Grabber I think is like 32.75 or something, and the BFG is like 32.85. Some of them will be 32.99, some of them will be 32.6, in this, all in the same tire size, 285, 75, 16. And so you just get to the closest true 33, and these seem to do well. I don't really like using any ones that are smaller. I like, filling up the fender wells. So that concludes this video, going over these tires. But again, a lot of information there, so feel free to comment if you have any questions or need some more clarification or have some more info. I'd love to hear. But in my experience, this BFG and General Grabber have been a great tire, and they last a long time. They're super quiet on the highway, and they perform really well on off-road and snow. And so that's some of the main reasons why we chose these 2 tires. But again, a lot of good tires out there. But thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. We'd love to have you on the channel, and till next time.